can you really get the AirPod Pro experience without paying the premium? Hey guys, Louis here, and today we are talking about these things. AirPods. Now, whether you like them or not, the fact that Apple have sold over 300 million pairs of these things worldwide, making them more profitable than businesses such as Spotify, Snapchat and Twitter alone is pretty impressive. But they're also quite pricey, and for the same amount you can definitely find better sounding alternatives. But what if you wanted the AirPod Pro aesthetic and a somewhat respectable level of sound quality for a far more affordable price? Well, I've got the laptop here, so let's jump on Amazon and see what we can find.
I'll be genuinely impressed if we find anything similar to the AirPod Pro.
Yeah, no, same here. I think to find something that looks the same for a really, really cheap price is going to be difficult.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
Okay, here we go. What about these ones here? They look very similar to AirPod Pros actually. $23.99. They've got 2,077 ratings, 4.5 star in total. Let's have a quick look through these and see what people are saying. So 73% 5-star reviews. Fabulous present. Don't want to spend 200 quid. Good alternative. Good value for money. Do the job really well. I reckon these could be the ones to go for, mate. $23.99. I tell you what is funny, just quickly, is looking at the photos of these products where everyone looks so happy and leading very successful lives. Okay, there it is. $23.99, Amazon Prime. That means they're going to be here tomorrow, and then we can see what they're really like. So we've just said the doorbell go. I think we know what that means. Hopefully, these are the AirPods. Sam, what are you saying?
I think it is.
Let's go. So here we have them then, guys, the T28s, knockoff AirPods that we've just bought off Amazon for $23.99. And of course, we've got the real deal, the AirPods Pro here from Apple for £239. But total transparency, if you do shop around, I do believe that you can pick these up for under £200 now. But either way, I want to know if the premium is worth it. And I do think this points to a bigger question on what you want from your products and what you're wanting to spend your money on. So let's take this t-shirt that I'm wearing right now as an example. This Nike shirt cost me just under £5, but I've also got plenty of the real versions of this shirt and other similar styles like it that cost me anywhere from £25 to £40. But let's be completely honest, they're just t-shirts at the end of the day, and they serve exactly the same purpose in a lot of ways. It shows that I'm a fan of Nike and I like being part of the brand. But is that all that there is to it? There's obviously a reason why I've also got plenty of the real versions, and a lot of that comes down to the build quality, the fit, the texture of the shirts. Everything just feels a little bit more premium. So I guess that the choice is ultimately, do you want to pay for a brand and its values, and do you actually get the added value? Or is brand premium too much for you? So back to Apple. Everyone knows they've certainly positioned themselves firmly in the desirable brand market. Of course, there are lots of people who don't like Apple, hey Android users, but there are equally many people who love them, with reportedly over 1 billion iPhone users in the world. So does this video come down to, do you want headphones that will play music and do that job, or will you pay that extra premium for the brand and maybe a step up in quality? Maybe, but I've got a few things to share after testing these fakes out so you can see how I came to my verdict about these. So first up, let's take a closer look at the design then. Now, right out of the box, you'd easily be forgiven for mistaking these as genuine AirPods, but on closer inspection, they don't feature the small status light on the front of the case like the real ones do, and they also don't have any setup button on the back like these do, but they do have a very useful numerical battery indicator light that appears every time you open and close the lid. Now, although it is quite faint and a little bit difficult to see in broad daylight, I did think it would be a little bit tacky when I saw the photos, but to be honest with you, I actually don't hate it. Now underneath you've got a USB-C slot connection for charging, which takes about 3 hours to fully charge from zero. So moving on to the earbuds themselves then, it's actually a similar story to the case. Although they're more easily distinguishable from the real AirPods Pros, at a glance they're honestly not too far off. Of course, the most obvious difference is the locations and the size of the externally visible proximity sensors, microphones, and so on the Pros in comparison to the much smaller features on the T28s. And they've also got this small little indicator light as well. So I think if you prefer a more minimal look, then it's actually a tick in the box for the T28s. I was also quite surprised to find out that these also come with very accurate touch controls on both sides. So tap once to play or pause, twice to skip track, and 3 times to go to previous track, as well as having very capable call control functionality and Siri activation. Now, to be fair, I'm somewhat impressed with the actual design, but despite the impressive replications to the AirPods Pros, their build quality is definitely not on the same level as the genuine AirPods, obviously. Now, the plastic on these feel much thinner and far more delicate, and I think a drop or two from any real height onto concrete, laminate, or something similar will probably spell the end for these things. And I'd also be quite suspicious of how long this lid will last before it breaks, especially given the fact that you'll be opening these maybe 3 to 4 times a day. And as you can tell, not necessarily the best build quality there. But the USB-C charger also doesn't quite fit flush into the base of the case either. And the design of the touch controls actually means that you activate Siri basically every time you take these headphones out of the case, put them in your ear, and then take them back out to put them in the case. So one final point is that these knockoffs claim to offer IPX5 water resistance, which is supposed to be able to resist a sustained low pressure water jet spray, whereas the Pros here, on the other hand, are IPX4 rated, so they're just resistant to splashes of water. Now, I regularly work out with my Pros and I haven't had any issues from sweat, and I've also been testing out these knockoffs recently and I've not had any trouble either. But having read some of the comments, like this one from Dr. Foster on Amazon, I'm not overly confident that I wouldn't run into some issues. So why not just put these to the test? Yeah, still working. So moving on to the sound quality then, and let's be brutally honest here, we weren't expecting much for just over £20, but to be honest with you, we should have actually given them a bit of a chance. Now, I'm not going to lie, there's no real comparison here to the actual AirPods Pros, but they're definitely not 10 times worse, and these are definitely the best pair of cheap in-ear headphones that I've ever tested. Now, there is a real noticeable lack of any lower end unless you're playing bass boosted YouTube remixes that help to squeeze out what does exist of the lower end that these things have to offer, and the quality of the vocals are very muddy in places, but on the whole, for the price, these are definitely more than usable, and I've been happy enough with these over the last few days, listening to music on Spotify, listening to some podcasts, and watching YouTube videos on my phone. Now, from the product page, they mention noise and cancelling in the same sentence, but honestly, I'm going to presume these don't have ANC, which is something that, of course, you do get with the real Pros. However, I do have to say that due to the snug fit on these knockoffs, they're so in my ear, and to be honest, comfortably so, that the seal helps to really block out any of the surrounding noise. And the Pros do block out more, but again, for 20 quid, I can't complain. Now, interestingly, we've also been testing the call quality, the text-to-speech accuracy, and Siri capability, and we were really impressed with these. The microphones do a really good job of reproducing clear vocals, although voices over phone calls do sound ever so slightly distant. It's basically as if you're talking to someone over speakerphone. Interestingly, these were also the easiest pair of in-ear headphones to connect to my devices that I have genuinely ever used. No question about it. Amazingly, exactly as advertised on Amazon, you literally open up the case, take them out, they pair up to your phone in your Bluetooth settings straight away, and that is literally it. You're done. There's no apps to download, there's no updates, no nothing. Straight from out of the box to listening within a couple of seconds. Now, apparently, these do also come with Bluetooth 5.1, but they only state that they've got a range of 10 meters. So let's head outside now and see what the range is really like on these things. All right then guys, so obviously, as you can tell, we're outside and we're gonna do a range test with these. Now, apparently they come with a range of about 10 meters or so. What's that? Now, apparently they come with a range of 10 meters, so we're going to try that out. We've measured it. 10 meters is literally just to the corner up there, so we're going to see how these get on. I'm going to give Sam my phone with a song playing now. We're going to see how these go. So moving on to battery life then, and we've been getting around about 4 to 5 hours of playback time before needing to recharge these things in their case. Now, as mentioned, the case itself takes about 3 hours to charge from 0 all the way up to 100%, and the earphones themselves take about 1.5 hours to charge to full inside their case. Now, in comparison, the AirPods Pros, we get similar sorts of times. These boast about 4 to 5 hours of playtime from a full charge, although they do actually take a lot less time to charge, as does the AirPods case itself. Now, no surprises here then, these knockoffs also, of course, don't support MagSafe charging like the Pros do. So I've been testing these out for a good few days now, and if I'm being honest, I had written these off before they'd even arrived, but I do have to say, I'm actually quite impressed. Now, do they sound incredible? No. Do they feel premium? No. But are they a decent pair of fakes for 20 quid that give the feel of AirPods and sound alright at a fraction of the price? Yeah. I think when you buy AirPods, you're not necessarily paying for market-leading sound quality or battery life. You're paying for convenience and Apple's real attention to detail. So this leads us to our main summary. And how many of you guys have paid a premium for something that turned out to be not all that great once you break it down and use it in real life? There's honestly nothing worse. So are you paying a premium to buy Apple? Yes. But are you paying a premium for an empty brand? For me, I don't think so. Now, I'm not going to answer whether I think the fakes are better than the pros, because obviously we all know the answer. But are they a good alternative? Well, to answer that, I'm going to ask you guys, what sort of customer are you? Do you pay the premium for branding and the best quality, or are you the sort of person that just wants something to be functional and do a job? I think once you've worked that out, you've got your answer. So are the AirPods Pro worth it for the right person? Yes. Are these 20 quid fakes worth it for the right person? Yes. So as you can see, I've got a pair in now, but I'm not going to tell you guys which pair I've gone for. Have a guess and comment down below. Which ones do you think I've got in right now? And more importantly, which ones would you guys go for? Please let us know if you'd like some more videos like these, maybe things like best portable speakers for under 50 quid. And if you've got any other products like these that you'd like to see us try, then please put them down below in the comment section. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, then please let us know by hitting that like button and subscribing. Thank you guys all very much for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video.